Alright guys, today's lesson is going to be almost the exact same as yesterday's, except you'll notice that with question B, instead of multiplying, we're going to be dividing. And so we're going to talk about that. But first, let's review over what we did yesterday. Here, we can see 10 times 3 10,000s equals how many 10,000s, which is equal to how many 100,000s. So you can see that they want us to start off with 3 10,000s. So I have my ones, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, and my 10,000s. My 100,000s, and millions. So if they want us to start with 3 10,000s, then in my 10,000s place, I'm going to draw 3 discs. Now it wants us to multiply those 3 10,000s by 10. So that means each one of these, I'm going to have to multiply by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you look here at the top, the first blank, it wants to know, well, how many 10,000s is that? So when we multiply 10 times 3, we would get 30. And you can see here we have 10, 20, 30 10,000s. Well, this can also be renamed as a different unit. Remember, when we multiply, we're going up in place value. So we're going to bundle our tens and we're going to move them over to our 100,000s because we're going up. So now we have 1, 2, 3 100,000s. So over here we have 300,000s. Well, how do we write that in standard form? We have 300,000, 0, 0, 0. Alright, when we divide, so if we multiply, we go up. If we divide, then that means we're going down because we're starting to take away. So we need to label our place value chart. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and millions. Okay, so they want us now to start off with 2 10,000s. So here's my 2 10,000s. Now if we're going down in place value, that means we're not going up to 100,000s. We have to break these back down into thousands. Well, we know that in 1 10,000 there is 10,000. So we're going to have to redraw 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And here we have another 10,000 that needs to be broken down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now when we broke down 2 10,000s, we have 10 20,000s. And if we divide that by 10, that means we have to put them in groups of 10. So one group of 10, two groups of 10. So that means 20,000s divided by 10 is equal to 1 2,000. So you're almost working backwards. And in standard form, that would be 2,000. Okay, so let's look at this next division one. So ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and millions. Okay, this time they want us to start off with 5 hundredths. So in my hundredths place, I'm going to draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It wants us to divide. So remember, when we divide, we're going to go down in place value. So instead of working in our hundreds, we're going to be moving into our tens. So that means we have to break down these hundreds into tens. Well, how many tens are in 100? Well, we know that 10 tens make 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so when we did that 5 hundredths divided by 10 equals, I'm sorry, this should not say 5 hundredths. This is messed up. Okay, so we would say 5 hundredths divided by 10 is equal to how many tens? Well, if we look, when we broke down the hundreds, we went 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So now we broke it into 50 tens. And whenever you divide those 50 tens by 10, so that means we have to put them in groups of 10, we made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 50 tens divided by 10 is equal to 5 tens. And 5 tens in standard form is 50. So mainly what I want y'all to start to recognize is that when you multiply, you need to go up a place value. When you divide, you need to go down a place value. So let's flip to the back. On the back side, we no longer have the place value chart, and this is where it really helps if you know what direction you're moving. So here, we're multiplying. Well, if we're multiplying, that means that we're going up. So if I'm starting in my 10,000s and I'm going up a place value, then that means I would end up in 100,000s. And how many 100,000s? 5. 500,000s. Well, how do we write that? 500, comma, 0, 0, 0. Then if we divide, we know that we have to go down in place value. So if we're starting in hundreds and we need to go down, then we're going to end up in tens. Well, how many tens? 2 tens. How much is 2 tens? 20. Alright, our next one, we're multiplying again. And so if we, oh, this one's new. So now we have 2 different units. We have hundreds and tens. Now we're multiplying, so we're still going up. But now we have to ask ourselves, okay, if we're starting at hundreds and we go up, what are we going to land at? Thousands. If we're at tens and we're going up, where are we going to land at? Hundreds. How many thousands? 3. We talked about yesterday how the number is not changing. It's the unit that's changing, or the place value. How many hundreds? 2. So now we have 3 thousands and 2 hundreds. And how do we write that in standard form? 3,200. It's the same way with division, but now remember, when you divide, we have to go down in place value. So if we're starting with 10,000s and we go down, then we'll end in thousands. If we're starting in tens and we go down, then we're going to end in ones. How many thousands? 4 thousands. How many ones? 2 ones. And how do we write that in standard form? 4,000 and then 2. And it makes sense, guys, because if you were to write out 5 10,000s, which is 50,000, and you multiply that by 10, you would go up one place value and get 500,000. Here, if you have 200s and you divide by 10, you would go down, which would put you at 20, which is in the tens. So it works the same way. Alright, last part. We have a word problem, so we want to remember to do R, D, W, W. And the way I like to read is I like to chunk it and then draw as I go. So Emily has $8,000 in the bank. So I know that. So I'm going to put Emily, draw a box, and she has $8,000 in the bank. This is 10 times as much as her sister has. So if this is 10 times as much, does her sister have more than Emily or less than Emily? Well, her sister would have less. So we would technically, even though it says times as much as, we would need to divide Emily's 8,000 and divide it by 10. I'm sorry, we're dividing Emily's by 10. Okay, so if we're in the thousands place, and we know we have to move down in place value, where are we going to land at? We're going to land at in the hundreds place. So that means that her sister would not have 8,000, but her sister would have 800. Alright guys, let me know what your percentage is and then I'll give you directions.